Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 237 of the Terminal City FC podcast, part of the Area 51 Sports Network. Josh Ray joined alongside Nathan Derrick, as per usual, talking all things football. So we're about less than a week into the World Cup, and a lot of exciting stuff, a lot of exciting football. All the teams have played so far. Canada is playing Qatar later today, which I don't know if by the time you're listening to this will be over. Hello to everyone watching on the Terminal City FC YouTube, Area 51 Sports Network, Twitter, and listening on demand or wherever you get your podcasts. So yeah, the World Cup, so all the action, all the drama. Let's go through like all the groups so far and like breeze through the games. Like last week, it opened up at the Azteca with Mexico beating South Africa.
Honestly, I don't think there's any surprise in this match. Mexico was by far the expected winner of this match. I think you and I both said Mexico was going to win not only this game, but we had Mexico pretty high up in qualification out of this group, either a 1-2, depending on them and South Korea.
Yeah, I had them in second behind Korea.
I think that's what I had too. We agreed on this one. This was just a day in the office for Mexico. I don't really know what else to say. South Korea, it's nice to see them back at this tournament, representing the CIF and everything. But I don't really think there was much of a test that you could really talk about in this match.
I mean, in this game, South Africa's defense was terrible. That Sithole guy.
Oh, what a horror show! Yeah,
and then just one of the worst performances you'll ever see at a World Cup. Gets sent off. People make fun of his name.
Which is unfortunate. That's kind of stupid. But yeah, and that's the other thing we should talk about. 3 red cards in this match.
Yep.
The last World Cup in the entirety had 4. And we had 3 in the first game.
In the opening game, which was absolutely crazy.
And the thing is, they weren't wrong.
Oh, I don't know what
you could say maybe a little light, but by the letter of the law, red is fair.
They were not wrong at all. The ref handled it well.
He did. I will say that too.
Yeah, and also from that group, South Korea with the comeback win over Czechia. Former Whitecap playing in Bohm with the goal and the assist on the winning goal.
Phenomenal.
Masterclass from him.
Yeah. Definitely the best player of the day. Nice to see him doing well. I believe he's plying his trade now in the Netherlands. Feyenoord, yeah. South Korea, I mean, I think we both agreed with this, that it was going to happen. Sun Heung-min, a little bit snatching at chances. It almost feels like he's trying to do too much. The thing is that's also happening in MLS this season. He hasn't gotten a goal all year. I think he's got about 6 or 7 assists. But yeah, he's having a difficult year putting the ball back in the net. And you kind of saw that frustration on his face after a couple of those chances as well.
Especially when he got subbed off. He did not look happy.
No, he didn't. And I don't think he was upset at his performance. I think he was more upset I don't think he was upset at being subbed off. I think he was more upset at himself.
With his performance, yeah.
Yeah, right. I had it backwards there for a second.
Yeah, and now, as we record this, Czechia is playing South Africa, and Czechia is up 1-0 at halftime. Michal Sadalik scored 6 minutes in for the Czechs.
Again, not surprised. It's what I expected. I do think that, if anything, Czechia could be a bit of a spoiler in this group. I'm not expecting it, but I could see them qualifying as a third-place team.
Yeah.
And the win here is necessary. The one, and if we're talking about today, the one that's going to decide first and second in this group is Mexico playing South Korea later on.
Which will happen later today from Guadalajara at 6
and has all the possibilities of being a spectacular game.
Yeah, this could be a really good one.
Yeah.
Group B, we're going to spend a bit more time here. Last week from Toronto, Canada played their first World Cup game, a 1-1 draw against Bosnia and Herzegovina. Another one of those games where you think Canada should have won because of all those chances and all the possession they had, but they did manage to salvage a draw thanks to Kyle Laren's second half goal.
This is actually, I know a lot of people that talk of the town or talk of the country is, does this mean Laren should start? I'm still going to go with no, because I like him as an impact player. I think him coming off the bench, as much as he might not like it, it's where I see how he will excel the best. We talked about a lot. We talked about it before. Does Larin fit in a Marsh's 4-4-2 formation? And the general consensus is he is better suited when there's a number 10 behind him.
Yeah.
But the one thing Larin gives you is press. David will not press. He doesn't press.
David
Larin will press anyone, and he will try to force errors on the ball. And he wasn't on the pitch all that long before he actually had his opportunity and made the most of it. I personally would still like to see him come from off the bench. I think that's where he excels the most.
Probably,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he does get the nod for this game, just because of the goal.
Start today. Jonathan David had that great chance in the first half where it was right at the Bosnian goalkeeper. Jesse Marsh's reaction said it all.
Yeah.
You got to bury that one. David was hooked like with 60 minutes. Not a good game from him at all. I think we can all agree.
David doesn't get hooked. Like he's a 90-minute player. So when he gets hooked, it's almost like an aberration. But I mean, player and coach alike both said it wasn't a good game. And sometimes it's not working. It's not anything against the player. We know he will bounce back. He's Canada's all-time goal scorer. But that day it just wasn't there.
Yeah, and David, Jesse Marsh last night talked about Jonathan David. He's like, yeah, don't worry, the goals will come. I know Jonathan and all that.
Yep.
It'll be great, nice if Jonathan David redeems himself today against Qatar, but Canada were down 1-0 thanks to a poor marking on the set piece for the Bosnian corner in the first half. But other than that, defensively, they look fine.
Yep.
But it was just the final third again.
It was poor marking, but the one thing I will say is that Bosnian team are tall. Like they are big boys in there. I was making a joke with someone else that maybe I should go in the back line so I can just give Canada some height.
You should play. Yeah, you should just play center back.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Bosnia again, you know what? They didn't play a poor game. They took their chances when they got them. We've seen a lot of set piece goals in this tournament so far. This was no different. But I think in a weird way, it also helped Canada because it hit the reality to them that they can't coast. It hit them very quickly that they have to show up, and they have to show up for 90 minutes.
Yeah, and Canada were on the front foot for most of the second half. They overwhelmed Bosnia. They could have won the game 2-1, but a 1-1 draw was enough to suffice. And Switzerland and Qatar played in Santa Clara. Switzerland scored thanks to the Embolo penalty, and then they did nothing with their attack. They looked lethargic in the attack. Then in one counter attack from Qatar, deep into stoppage time, tie game. That's a huge result for Canada.
94th minutes for Qatar. It goes down as an own goal, which might be a little harsh. It's right. It took a pretty significant deflection, but I think the story is that Switzerland only got one goal on 3.2 XG.
Yeah. And that Qatari
shows you
was great.
The Qatari goalkeeper, and I want to pull his name up here, Mahmoud Abanada, because the thing is he wasn't even supposed to be the goalkeeper that was starting for Qatar. The goalkeeper that's been the one that they've normally used and the one that's been in form, I believe, is I was going to say Michel Berchamp, but I think it was Salah Zakaria, if I have that right. Going with Abanada was a bit of a surprise to a number of people, but the decision paid off.
Yeah.
Because I think he was the story of that game day. Yeah.
Yeah, and more on him later, but he's going to be someone to watch against Canada later today.
The one thing I will say against him right now is he's on a yellow, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah. In Group C, the Scots made their return to the World Cup with a 1-0 win over Haiti, thanks to John McGinn. And then they pretty much shut Haiti down after the goal, as the Scots took over Foxborough/Boston area.
Nothing really wowed me about this game. It was, I mean, the game could have gone either way. Like, it almost felt like a draw would have been deserving in this match. Good on Scotland for getting it. They haven't been in a World Cup in a number of years. So this, I mean, you go all the way back to the Highlands. This is probably, the second coming.
Yeah.
But nothing about this really, really wowed me. The only thing that wowed me is that apparently there was bars in Boston that have actually run out of beer.
Thanks to the Scots.
They said
the Scots took over Fenway. The Red Sox
more
game.
beer was drunk in that single day than over a St. Patrick's Day long weekend.
Gotta love the Scots.
Yeah.
And then
the Irish look bad.
Yeah, Brazil-Morocco ended up being a 1-1 draw. Brazil, other than the Vinicius Jr. goal, which was a phenomenal goal, not much really going in attack.
Brazil has problems. Brazil does not look prepared, and I was really surprised to see. I was really surprised to see this because I believe they have one of the best coaches in the world in Carlos Ancelotti. Yeah. And he's been there now for quite a while. He actually just renewed his contract to 2030 or something like that. So I figured that with the amount of time that he had, that they would be, looking quite well. I thought it would be okay. One of the questions is Igor Thiago, who's leading the line for them.
He looked terrible.
He looked terrible. There's still a lot of questions about why, not only why is he in the starting 11, about why is he in the squad.
Why was he?
Now, the thing is he had a phenomenal year for Brentford. He gets
somehow he scored 20 goals.
Somehow. I know, right? But
he was picked over João Pedro.
He did not look it in this. Well, he was picked over Pedro. He was picked over Richarlison. He was picked over a number of players.
Yeah.
So I have questions about this Brazilian team because if it wasn't for a single flash by Vinicius Jr., this game would have been very, very different because that was an individual effort and it was rare in this game. I don't know. Morocco overall looked the better team. Morocco looked the better team. That's why I look at this group, and this group could go any which way.
Yeah. And then we got Group D, the United States with a masterclass over Paraguay, 4-1 win. Fuller and Balogun with the brace. Just beautiful attacking football with the press, the passing. They just overwhelmed Paraguay. Feel bad for Andres Kubis. Sebastian Berhalter did come on to stabilize the midfield. Just a Pochettino masterclass.
Who saw this coming? Who saw them absolutely, especially in that first half. There's a lot of Americans out there that are comparing. Now it's a game that I don't remember, but they're comparing this to a game that they played against Portugal about 15, 16 years ago in terms of likely the best performance that they have ever seen out of this American squad. But this was, like you said, it was masterfully handled. And after the half, I mean, at that point, you can afford to sit back. This is a long tournament. If you're up 3-0 at the half, you don't need to keep pushing in that second half. You can sit back. You can let the other team take it to you, and you can almost rest your players a little bit. So I'm totally fine with how they played the second half as well.
Yeah, the Gio Reyna scored that banger to seal the game off.
Very, very end, yeah.
Yeah, but the Fab Four for me, Christian Pulisic, Fuller and Balogun, Weston McKennie, Anthony Robinson, just tore Paraguay apart by themselves. It was nice to see Sebastian Berhalter on the pitch in the second half as well. The United States will play Australia, I believe, tomorrow. Yeah. Which, speaking of the Socceroos, with a masterclass in the low block against Turkey here in Vancouver. I mean, you can play haram ball without time wasting, without rage baiting, without WW corner tactics. Just be solid defensively and proactive on the counter. Australia were just that.
Australia came in with a game plan and executed it beautifully. Turkey is the team that I think we all expected was going to win this match. They're a very good team that plays in UEFA. They're considered one of the bigger leagues out there. You look at some of the teams that are in Turkey with like Fenerbahce, Galatasaray. I mean, Besiktas, like these are big storied clubs. Australia, you don't think of football. If anything, you're thinking rugby or Aussie rules football or anything like that, right? But the A-League has been quietly growing. Not only in Australia but in New Zealand as well, because I think there's 2 teams in the A-League that play in New Zealand, not just one anymore. Yeah. But this was Australia understanding exactly who they were, understanding who their opponent was, and building a game plan to counter. And well-deserved 2-0 win.
Suffocated that Turkey attack.
They had 28%. They had 28% of the ball in the game. That's it. And that's what they did with it.
Yeah, and all Turkey had going for them was Arda Güler trying to carry, but that wasn't enough.
Turkey had 30 shot attempts. Right there. But they were all like low impact attempts. Like none of them really challenged, even though they had the ball for so much of the game.
Yeah, and BC Place also, should mention, looked great on TV.
Phenomenal.
Too bad we couldn't be there. The grass looked great. The atmosphere inside looked great too. But just can't afford tickets. Fortunately, got rejected for a press pass. But oh well.
But, you know what? All credit to BC Place. It does look like a great venue in this World Cup. And actually, there's been numerous different publications out there that, in terms of rating all the host cities, has had Vancouver consistently at number 1. So
yeah, especially Sports Illustrated. And then Germany announced their arrival to the World Cup with a 7-1 win. Sounds familiar? Over Curacao. Curacao did get their first goal, first ever World Cup goal. But Germany was just, it's classic Germany with their attack.
Germany was Germany. It's clockwork, right? Cover your ears if you're a Brazilian fan from years ago, because this might give you flashbacks. But 7-1, it's the biggest win in the first round. I don't think this should surprise anyone.
Yep.
The one thing I will say is Germany hasn't been tested yet, and that can be also a detriment, because are you coming into this second match with swagger that is going to help you in your play or hinder you in your play? Because the next team you face is not going to be like Curacao.
Yeah, Curacao made it 1-1, but it was just a German masterclass.
I mean, you think of how small Curacao is the smallest nation in this tournament. They're smaller than Cabo Verde.
Population that's less than North Vancouver.
Their population, you could fit over half of their population inside the Houston Stadium where they played this game.
Yep. Denis Undov off the bench, 2 assists and a goal. Apparently he has 10 goal contributions in 10 matches with Germany, or something like that. Phenomenal.
Other interesting thing about this is it was in terms of the managers, it was the youngest manager versus the oldest manager in this tournament. Youngest being Julian Nagelsmann with Germany, oldest being Dick Advocaat, who's had a number of stints with Curacao. Interesting to see both those, and both managers very, very well respected from their respective sides as well. But on paper, from the beginning of this game, we knew who was going to win. I don't even think any of us thought it was going to run the score up at this point. And I know there's people out there saying, oh, at a certain point, you should kind of stop and, just let it play. This is the group stage. Goal difference can matter. Run it up.
It matters a lot.
Yeah, it matters very much.
Yeah, and then the other game in Group E, Cote d'Ivoire with a 1-0 win over Ecuador. Pretty exciting game. Both ends, back and forth, but nobody could really find the back of the net. Until Amad Diallo of Manchester United comes off the bench and scores on the counterattack. I don't know why he didn't start this game.
Yeah.
But a big win for Cote d'Ivoire. Yan Diomande, the young phenom, absolutely cooked Piero Hincapie in this game.
Sorry, go ahead.
He pretty much showed why he's coveted by all these big teams.
Yeah, he's going to get a monster move at the end of the World Cup. We'll definitely say that. The one thing I will say about Ecuador is that, for as positive as they look, they only managed a single shot on target. So
that's their problem. Defensively, their attacking play is not that great.
Yeah, and their
best striker is Ender Valencia, who's 36.
Exactly. They're also, you can take a look, and out of all their shots. The other thing that tells you is just the distance of their shots. They manage less than half the number of touches inside the box as Cote d'Ivoire. So Cote d'Ivoire right now on paper has more going forward.
Yeah. Should mention Moises Caicedo looked good, and so did former Whitecap Pedro Vite.
Pedro Vite, that's
they
right.
Both look good, but couldn't come up with the win.
No.
Group F, another slaughter. 5-1 Swedish win over Tunisia. Masterclasses by Alexander Isak and Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres had 2 assists. Isak had a goal as well and an assist, I believe.
Ayari also had a couple of goals.
Yeah, who is half Tunisian, by the way.
Yeah. On his first goal, he didn't really celebrate as much, which I respect. I think it's nice. The second goal was a little bit more. But I mean, at that point, yeah, it was a bit more. Now, we've already had our first casualty, I guess you could call it, out of this. The head coach of Tunisia has been fired 1 game into the World Cup, and he's been let go. He only managed 5 matches, actually, as the Tunisian head coach, going back to pre-tournament and whatnot. So they are being coached by an interim right now. I believe it's one of the assistants that's come up.
One of the assistants.
But I mean, how bad do you have to be that you get fired after 90 minutes?
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty bad for Tunisia, especially their goalkeeper just making poor decisions on the first and second goal.
Well, not only that, but Sweden scored 5 goals on 1.33 XG. How lethal do you have to be? And not only that, but how poor defensively do you have to be where you're letting in low scoring chances?
Yeah, and then
consistently.
Other than that 1 goal, nothing really went through for them.
Yeah. Welcome back, Sweden.
Yeah, well, welcome back, Tunisia, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Another exciting game from Group F, though the first half was kind of dull because both teams were cautious and defensive. A 2-2 draw in Dallas between the Netherlands and Japan. Japan tying it late. Phenomenal game. Phenomenal second half, rather.
Yeah, this game didn't really open up. It was very, very cagey in that first half. It was like hesitation was coming in. And the thing is, that's been kind of a through line throughout this entire World Cup. And it's one of the possibilities in that you're getting all these other teams, these I guess maybe mid-range FIFA ranked teams that are coming into the tournament, is that you're getting a lot of teams that aren't too sure how to play against one another, or they're playing very, very defensively because you're realizing you only maybe really need 1 win to qualify out of the group because you can qualify in a 3rd place spot. This was one of those games where you thought the Netherlands in the World Cup is a very difficult team to get a handle on because you always think that they're a team that should go deep, but they never really show up.
Yeah, well, this time, they did, but they didn't getting the point. Van Dijk leading the way with the first goal.
Yeah,
it had to be him.
I also really like this Japanese team. I think they're a strong team. I think they're one of the best teams out of the Asian Confederation. Depending on what spot they qualify out of this group and who they face in the next round, they could go deep. They could be a surprising team.
Even without Wataru, Endo, Karu Mitoma, and Takumi Minamino. Still good team.
There was also the very big surprise to Japan that they had one of the players that they picked literally retire from international football, 2-3 days before the tournament?
Yeah.
So, they've gone through some surprises, but they're still here.
Yeah, but after Somerville scored for the Netherlands, it was all Japan just pushing and pushing and pushing. Funny goal to tie it up because Daichi Kamada didn't even intend to put the ball in it. It just hit him in the head and it went in.
Hey, sometimes it doesn't have to look pretty. It just has to cross the line, right? As an Edmonton Oilers fan, we used to say that about Ryan Smith's goals all the time. So
yeah, just crossed the line and Kamada didn't even move. He just stood there, went off his head and in.
Yeah. You take credit for that every day of the week.
Yeah. Good game, this one. Group G it had probably the dullest game of the tournament, though none of these games have been quote unquote super boring. A 1-1 draw in Seattle between Belgium and Egypt. That Egyptian goal though, beautiful goal, but other than that,
this was
not too much was really.
I agree with you. I found this very, very dry. Again, Belgium is again another team that sometimes fails to show up a little bit when it comes to the World Cup. They're always there. They're in around. People start talking about them, and they just kind of falter a little bit. This is a Belgian team that I think is doing well at bringing in some youth, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to talk about this one. I even wrote this one, and it was one of those ones where you're struggling to really, what do I talk about?
Yeah, because Belgium, I mean, the golden generation died 4 years ago. Let's face it, it's over. Many of them, some of them have retired. They're all old. The goal was an own goal. It was caused by Lukaku off the bench, but it was Haney who put it in his own net.
The other thing is Doku looked frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, Doku was pretty much doing everything.
Yeah, but just nothing was coming up. He just did not look a happy guy out there.
Yeah, and Belgium's attack just looked toothless.
Yeah.
But there was another exciting game from this group. In LA, New Zealand, Iran. Back and forth action, ending up in a 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. This game actually was phenomenal. It was the last game of that match day, and man, did this day need this game.
Yeah.
Credit to Iran. Very, very fun game to watch. They have a very good style of play. This is also an Iranian team that they understand each other, because I think all but one of their players actually plays in Iran. This is also a team that
probably,
I mean, unfortunately is very well rested, because with the current conflict going on, the Iranian league had to be suspended. So they haven't played for quite a while in their domestic league. So they're coming out of the gate very well rested.
They were.
But in kind of unfortunate to say.
Yeah. Elijah Just with 2 goals for the Kiwis. Ruzani and Mohebi for Iran. Yeah.
Justin Wood play very, very well together. Wood assisting on both goals. He is such a
great with the link-up play.
He's a great target man, right? Yeah. He has a big body up there. He holds the ball well. You can't knock him off. And he holds the ball so inside his feet so that he can keep his head up and still not have to really worry about anyone really challenging him for the ball. So he knows he can lay that out. And Just was just the beneficiary of it.
Yeah.
Again, though, I would say out of anyone in this first round so far, he is one of those guys where the world kind of started to take notice of a little bit because of how well he did, but also his youth, because he is a young guy that could
26
right? Someone might take a sniff at, right?
Yeah. I mean, credit to Iran too, their attack, their defense, the way they countered as well. I mean, if you love counter-attacking football, that was a great game to watch.
Raislan, the right back on this team, Ramin Raislan, had an excellent game, goal and an assist, I believe. He actually was the man of the match over Just even. And he was well deserving. Yeah, goal and an assist.
Group H, shock of the tournament so far. Spain, Cabo Verde. Spain just looked toothless in attack, with Ozzibriel, Pedri, Ferran Torres just missing the net. And that goalkeeper for Cabo Verde, that 40-year-old goalkeeper, game of his life.
Did not look like a 40-year-old playing in that match. Absolutely stood on his head. This is, again, one of those 0-0 matches that is actually very entertaining to watch because of the display of individuals and the quality, because there was a well-executed defensive game, and it's not like Spain was sitting still. Like they
were attacking, but they were
attacking. but they just couldn't get anything behind this phenomenal goalkeeper. Great story with Vizinha. He talked about after the game about the difficulty in trying to get his mother to this match, and unfortunately it did not pay off. They couldn't get the visas, the extra money that Cabo Verdens have to pay to come into the States. But since then, they have figured out a way to get his mother to come to their second game. So she will be in the stands to watch her son for that second match, which is really, really nice to see. Obviously, I mean, you wish that everyone would be able to see all these matches, but at least,
the U.S.
one story.
Being with this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that Spanish attack just looks so terrible for their standards. Credit to Cabo Verde for playing the low block well, but Spain are the favorites to win the tournament, but couldn't score against Cabo Verde, which was a shock.
They're going to need to figure themselves out, because you need to figure out how to break down these low blocks. And we've talked about this through domestic leagues throughout this entire season of how to do that. I mean, we talk about it even with the Whitecaps and the teams that they face. But yeah, Spain defensively got, their number got found out.
They did. I'll see if they could figure it out in their next game against Saudi Arabia on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of Saudi Arabia, 1-1 draw against Uruguay in Miami. Saudi Arabia was the one that got the first goal from Emery right before the half. And then after that, Uruguay just took control, because both teams were defensive in the first half.
It was, yeah. The goal kind of almost shocked everyone awake. It seemed to kind of come out of nowhere. But in that second half, it was wave after wave of Uruguay. Finally, it was Araujo who tied it up here in the 80th minute. Yeah, but that goal was coming. That goal was coming.
Because Uruguay were pushing and pushing.
Yeah. This is a game where I think Uruguay, I'm surprised they actually didn't come back and win the game. Credits to Saudi Arabia for weathering the storm and at least, getting a point out of it. But that second half was just dominant Uruguay.
Yeah. Maxi Araujo, Chelsea transfer target. Left winger and a left back also. Yeah. Great game from him with the goal, and he had created the most chances in the game with 5.
There you go.
And then we'll go with Group I. France beat Senegal 3-1 in New Jersey with a masterclass from Kylian Mbappe. One of the best players in the world. A brace, including that banger to seal the game off. And then
that turn for his second goal, where he gets the ball, turns and just unleashes that shot. What was that from? Got to be 30,
25, 30 yards out.
Yeah. The thing is as soon as that left his foot, he had already turned around and started cheering. He knew it. He knew it right away.
Yeah. No chance for Edouard Mendy.
Yeah.
And Michael Olise with the assist on both Mbappe's goals. Unfair combo, those two. Also, nice pass from Adrien Rabiot
But quiet in the first half.
Yeah, quiet first half.
France didn't open up until they took, Deschamps took Olise and moved him centrally. Rather than playing on the wing. And as soon as he moved him centrally, it opened up his creativity in order to link up with Mbappe, and all of a sudden the gates. So it's interesting how you can just take a minor little tweak, and all of a sudden, the floodgates open.
Yeah. Second goal, Rabiot assists Bradley Barcola. Great through ball.
Rabiot's a guy that I'm always surprised is still in and around that French team.
I guess that's why he's in the team.
Yeah.
And Senegal had their.
I was going to say about Barcola, talk about the youth coming up. This French team is just, like I said, I don't see a loose or a faulty link in this French team. I don't.
Yeah.
And Barcola, being able to bring in young players like him and have him have an impact already. You go back a couple of World Cups ago when France won, and that was Mbappe coming up, right? He was 19 at the time back then?
Yep. Now it's Barcola and Doué.
Exactly. And Doué, absolutely.
Senegal had their chances. Like Nicholas Jackson hit the post in the first half. He did score a banger, but it was offside. Again, Nicholas Jackson can't figure out how to stay onside.
Massively offside. Like that, you don't even need anyone. Everyone in the stadium saw that. I think even Jackson, after he scored it, he was kind of like,
he knew.
Yeah, I know where I was. But Mbaye does get the consolation goal in the 95th minute, so Senegal does get at least a goal in the game. Hopefully, it might give them a little bit of positivity heading into their next match.
Yeah, I think Jackson was Senegal's best player on that day.
Yeah, I would have to agree. He was definitely moving around and kind of creating the most. Spurs aside, Sarr was disappointing.
Yeah.
I also think he was being played a bit too far forward for the kind of player he is. It felt like he was out of position. And I don't know if it's just Senegal trying to get their best 11 on the pitch and then just trying to figure out where best to put them. But I didn't feel that the mix for Senegal was the best. It was the best players, not necessarily the best team.
Yeah, France just carved their midfield apart. And I also don't know why Iliman Ndiaye didn't get the start in this game. And then another world-class player on that day, Erling Haaland, tore up Iraq with a brace in their 4-1 win in Foxborough.
I guess you could also say Hussein on Iraq also had a brace. He had a goal and an own goal.
An own goal as well. Their goal Hassan made that big mistake on the second Haaland goal. I don't know why there was a back pass there either.
Again, Norway announcing themselves as we're back in this World Cup.
Haaland announcing that he's him. He's here to score goals. Østegård also with the goal for Norway from the corner.
Well taken. Well done by them. Hussein's goal for Iraq actually was their only shot on target. So, taking the chances when they come, especially when you know that they're going to be few and far between. But I don't think this should surprise anyone. Erling Haaland he's one of those guys that is not satisfied with just getting one goal. He will continue to fight. Like there's some players. Yeah. Oh yeah. He's one of those players where his intensity sometimes almost feels like it's too much, but his intensity is actually very positive, I believe, to the rest of his team. Like he is a guy that I feel doesn't work just for himself, where you might sometimes wonder about, say, a Vinicius Jr. sort of thing. Haaland works for the team.
Yeah. It's not like he was doing the heavy lifting too. Like Norway as a whole were doing great in this game.
Yeah. Especially when you think of like Odegaard and Berge behind him and what they were doing to bring that ball forward. We did see a little bit of Lucas Bergvall, Spurs mentioned, towards the end of this match, but not too many minutes that we can really talk too much about him.
Yeah. And speaking of world-class players on that same day, arguably, I think the greatest footballer to ever have lived, to have played the game, Lionel Messi did Lionel Messi things with a hat trick over Algeria.
I normally stay out of the conversations of GOATs, greatest of all time, because I find where you might be able to compare players within their generation, I find it very difficult to compare players between different generations, just because the entirety of the sport changes. Like, I don't know how to compare someone like, say, a Messi to a Maradona, because the sport isn't the same, right?
Yep.
But I'm finding that increasingly difficult to do with Lionel Messi. He is the greatest of his generation, and of any player of any sport, he is one of those that I could put up there as the best or the greatest of all time in his respective sport, because this guy has found a way to adapt to what his body is and his age is as he goes without skipping a beat. Other players aren't able to do that, where they are the greatest for a spell, but then, age and everything catches up to us all. It hasn't with Messi.
Yeah, Messi's 30.
He is still going.
He's still going.
What is he, 38?
38, yeah, and he's still falling out.
But he's adapted his game. Like, he is not the same player he was 5, 10, whatever years ago.
But he can still.
But that doesn't matter. it doesn't matter, right?
When you have the IQ, like that doesn't change.
And that's what it is. It is the intelligence of this player. He doesn't need to be the guy that's running all over the pitch because he is already there when you need him to be.
Yeah, he just walks and then shows up.
The best quote I ever heard, or one of the best quotes I've ever heard in sports, is when there was a sports writer from Edmonton describing Wayne Gretzky, when he said Wayne Gretzky doesn't play hockey, he plays 35-mile-an-hour chess. That's Messi in football.
That's Lionel Messi.
He is reading the whole board 5 moves before everyone else.
Yeah. And I mean,
that's the hallmark of a great player.
Yeah. Argentina just announcing their World Cup defense right there. And the GOAT is leading their way. Also,
I will say this team needs to find another note other than Messi. You can't just rely on one player.
I don't know why Lautaro Martinez does poorly with Argentina, but he does well with Inter Milan. I would have started Julian Alvarez.
Because he's not the guy. Lautaro Martinez needs to be the guy.
Yeah.
And for his domestic team, he is. He's not here.
Yeah. Start Alvarez next game.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
And then again, the Messi DePaul link. I mean, we've seen it with Inter Miami. We're seeing it here as well.
Yeah, Messi McAllister
that's
also.
Same old.
Same old. And also an exciting game in Group J from Santa Clara. Austria beat Jordan 3-1. It was Austria's press and possession versus Jordan's defense. It was even for most of the game, but Austria ended up getting the win.
Yeah. I mean, Austria did have that early lead that came kind of midway through the first half. Jordan did tie it up as the second half began. But Austria... I mean, Austria took the game to Jordan in that second half. Jordan had... I don't even know if they had a shot on target in that second half. They may have had like one or whatnot.
Maybe. I can't remember.
But Austria is another team that is benefiting from the larger World Cup, but is a team that's also showing that they are deserving to be here.
Yep. Schmid with that banger of a goal 20 minutes in. Though the second goal was an own goal.
It was.
Yeah. And then Arnautovic with the penalty late.
Very late.
Very
like
late,
over 100 minutes.
12 minutes of stoppage time.
There you go.
And but credit to Jordan. They did a good effort, but Austria just took it when it mattered the most.
Jordan, not this past Asian Cup, but the one before that, didn't they win?
I think so. I'm sure they won.
I want to say they won. So this is not a team to discount at all, right?
Not at all, yeah. So yeah, great game there between Austria and Jordan. Like teams, like the lower tier teams, when they play each other, tend up to be the most exciting games of this tournament.
This is a bit of a side note. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but the president of UEFA actually was talking about saying like and he basically said the lesser teams that shouldn't be here and whatnot. And then there was a joint letter sent out by all the smaller nations together saying, no, like these games are important. These are important to our people and whatnot. We deserve to be here. And just because we aren't big to you doesn't make these not as important to other places around the world. And I think for the most part, these other teams are showing this is not a European tournament. This is a world tournament. So let's actually reflect that.
Yeah. Goes to show, like, you don't have to be a big team to play exciting football.
No. And the thing is over 90 minutes, anything can happen. I mean, Cabo Verde, let's see what happened there. I think they're the best example, but other teams as well. Jordan showing up, Saudi Arabia has been showing up for a while. Hey, they beat Argentina last time. Eventually went on to win the thing, right? I am increasingly enjoying the larger format, which I wasn't too sure if I was.
Me neither. Tournament. I am too. And doing so far, it's so good.
I'm really enjoying seeing the breadth of all these nations.
Yeah. Group K, Portugal drew to Congo 1-1. Joao Neves scored 6 minutes in, and then Portugal's attack just died. Before halftime, Wissa of Newcastle ties the game for Congo, and other than that, not much really going for Portugal. The old man up top, Cristiano Ronaldo, missed chances and couldn't really muster anything.
He really only had 2 half chances, which came midway through the second half. Again, it's tough to fault him. The service to him was very poor.
Yeah.
But, you actually found this stat from XG Philosophy, which said after that goal in the 6th minute, the XG of Portugal was 0.
Yeah.
0 for 84 minutes. This, and I'll say it right now, out of the entirety of the first round, this was the most boring match.
Yeah. Because Portugal just passed the ball around, but weren't creating anything.
And this is the other where you've had a lot of people saying that over the past number of matches, Portugal plays better without Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm starting to agree with that.
Me too.
Now, the thing is he can still be a great impact player for his team. And I think that might be the thing. But the problem is it's not the manager. It's not the coach that runs this team. It's Cristiano Ronaldo that runs this team. Yeah. And that's not a good thing.
Not at all. And just the guys who came in, like Conceição and Rafael Leao, hardly did anything. Pedro Neto looked fine because he got the assist, but after that, he was Pedro Neto.
Well, even Fernandes didn't have the impact that we saw in, say, like the second half of Manchester United season.
Yeah, and Bernardo Silva too. Mid.
Yeah.
All he did was get a yellow.
This game was fun.
should bench Cristiano Ronaldo against Uzbekistan. Speaking of, they played
it's
Colombia
not going to happen.
Uzbekistan played Colombia last night, and they gave a good effort. But Colombia got the win with 3-1 in Mexico City.
Luis Diaz showing that he is Luis Diaz. What he does for Bayern, what he did with Colombia. He was phenomenal. Uzbekistan did well to try and hold off Colombia as much as possible. They did get a bit of a surprise goal that kind of came out of nowhere.
Where from?
But this was a well-played game by Colombia.
Yeah. Munoz with a pretty nice goal, 40 minutes in. But in the second half, Vasaliev of Uzbekistan takes advantage of some poor defending and puts it into the back of the net for their first World Cup goal ever.
This was a goalkeeper mistake. We talked about Shamirdov, I believe is the name, as that striker. And we watched him when Canada played in that tune-up match in Edmonton. And the number of chances this striker had, he's a quick guy. He is strong on the ball. He can make space for himself, and he threatened Canada on a number of occasions. It was his initial shot that was mishandled by Vargas. The ball kind of ended up hitting the post, bouncing over, and it was enough for just the easy kind of tap-in header for it to give Uzbekistan their first ever World Cup goal. The other thing is Uzbekistan is the first ever Central Asian nation in the World Cup.
Yep.
They were in their spot again. It was I think we expected Colombia to take this game. There's no surprises, but it was a good game.
Yeah, let's not forget Uzbekistan has Kusanov of Manchester City, so there's someone to watch out for. But Luis Diaz just spreads down the wing. Yusupov, the Uzbekistan goalkeeper, should have had this one, but good goal from Luis Diaz.
Yeah.
But that's our goal also, should mention. The way Cucho Hernandez, formerly of Columbus Crew, that assist where he keeps it in, then crosses it, and then Campes heads it in. Great way to end the game.
Yeah, and great way. That was the last game of this round one of the group stages, so good way to end that as well.
Yeah. In Group L, yesterday also had a very exciting game. England and Croatia, excuse me, in Dallas. Back and forth action. Harry Kane doing Harry Kane things. First with a penalty that had to be retaken.
And Yes, this penalty had to be retaken. The goalkeeper was off his line. This is one of those calls that with VAR is binary. Either you're on the line or you're off the line. And it doesn't matter if like, oh, it's only 2 inches or whatever it is. If you're off the line, you're off the line.
He was off the line.
Don't get me wrong. That first take by Harry Kane was not a good take.
That was not a good one at all.
But you can't give him a second try.
And it made him play.
Yeah.
Hey, England also with a second goal, like Kane was left all alone for that corner kick from Declan Rice.
Who leaves Harry Kane alone in the box on a corner? He came
and then
in,
he just heads it in.
He had the free run. The header was with power. That was just poor defending. That was poor defending by Croatia.
Yeah. Speaking of poor defending, England's backline wasn't good in that first half, especially Stones and Konsa. Batterina
Stones always wasn't the fastest guy in the world, but he's
like
showing
plus now.
He is
32.
As a defender, you think that you've got a number of years still left, but he's the pace isn't there. It never really was, but
it never really was.
No,
I was surprised Mark Gay didn't get a start.
But the thing is I think what hurt Stones more was the fact that O'Reilly was playing on the left, because O'Reilly had a very poor match.
Yeah, Reece James had a poor half too.
Yeah,
I'll even admit, even as a big defender, Batterina tied the game, and before stoppage time, like Peter Musa, the FC Dallas player, all that space beats Jordan Pickford.
You think about the number of potential strikers that could have been chosen for Croatia, and the fact that they went with Peter Musa. First off, I love the choice. The fact that they weren't playing in the same stadium that FC Dallas plays in. Same area, put in the guy that the fans know, and he performs. I thought that was classy by Croatia, potentially dangerous, but it paid off.
Musa's one of the top goal scorers in MLS, so
he is. Again, and I've said it. I said it even when he got his move to FC Dallas. I am surprised that he's still not playing in Europe. This is a guy that I believe could tear it up in Europe.
Yep. Second half was all England.
Yeah.
Like great link-up play between Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka. Bellingham beats Livakovic, does the trademark Bellingham goal. And then England just continues to control the game. Looked great defensively despite a bit of minor scares. And then Marcus Rashford off the bench sealed it.
Marcus Rashford came off the bench and had an impact. This is a guy that, let's be honest, he's looking for a move, right? And he's putting himself in the shop window. And I think
he did funny because he replaced Anthony Gordon, who is the replacement of him at Barcelona. And I barely noticed Gordon.
You didn't. Madueke had a great game.
He drew the penalty.
Yeah. I think he had a fantastic game. Really, really good showing of himself. This was also the only match of the first round that was what I would call between two heavyweights.
Yeah.
And England came out on top, and very deservedly so.
Very. Well-deserved win for the English. Thomas Tuchel with pretty good tactics and sub selections.
His subs were on point.
Yeah.
His subs were on point.
Now,
of course, you've got everyone saying, "Oh, it's coming home! It's coming home!
It's coming home!" It's just one game.
It's one game. Yeah, exactly.
Also in that group, Ghana, Panama in Toronto. Dull first half, but both teams traded their chances in the second, and then right at the death,
that last play,
Ghana with the win, courtesy of
Caleb Yarenki.
Yeah, Yarenki. 5 minutes into stoppage time.
You know what? This was one of those matches. It was played at Toronto Stadium. BMO for all of us in Canada, what we recognize it. But it was kind of a tough game to watch. But what made this game entertaining was the fans.
Oh, the Ghanaian fans and the Panama fans.
Phenomenal.
Made it loud.
I mean, they really came out for this match, and it was great to see it. They were loud, they were cheering, there was the songs and everything, and it was really, really beautiful to see.
I mean, we get Africans and Latin Americans together. A lot of singing.
There was some contentious moments on the pitch where frustration was starting to boil between these two sides.
Going at it.
Yeah,
verbally,
especially in that second half. But well on Ghana for taking this. This is a game that I think everyone expected Panama. If anyone was going to come away with it, the expectation was
Panama just didn't bury their chances.
No, they didn't. And in that second half,
at 20 years old with the winner.
Yeah. Again, Panama, majority of the ball. Didn't really do a whole lot with it.
Yeah. And also should mention, as we're recording this, Czechia and South Africa are tied 1-1. South Africa scored thanks to Teboho Mokoena on a penalty kick, I believe.
Again, I'm not expecting this. But if this stays, good on South Africa for grabbing a point in this group, because I did not see you getting one at all.
Yeah. All right. So later today at 3 p.m. our time, Canada and Qatar will kick off at BC Place, Vancouver. And basically, we talked about the Bosnia game. The big thing is, how are we going to score more goals? How are they going to, get on the front foot early? Because that's what Jesse Marsh talked about last night. They have to set the tone early. I think that's my big takeaway.
It's setting the tone early. It's trying to figure out the low block. And we're going to be talking about this throughout the entire tournament of how do you figure out the low block because of sometimes the disparity on paper between these matchups. Canada will remember playing Qatar in the warm-up matches towards the last World Cup, the one that was actually in Qatar, where Canada did win. But this is a different Canada team. This is a different Qatar team. Exactly. But I think there are lessons you can take from that. Canada needs to get the most, I would say, out of their fullbacks. These fullbacks are going to need to run up, join the attack, create overloads in order to get this ball deep inside the box for players like David and Laren and Oluwashi, Promise David, and anyone who ends up starting
with the wingers too.
Into that. But you're going to need to put in a number of balls. Now, the one thing that's going to help is that Qatar does not have the height of Bosnia. So these balls that are coming in high, the hope is that Canada is going to be able to get on the end of them. Players like Laren and Oluwashi, these aren't small guys.
Promise David.
Yeah, right. I mean, there should be an aerial advantage that you can take advantage of. I'm also expecting big games from the midfield. The big question
was phenomenal against Bosnia.
Exactly. Now the thing is Johnson and DeVisual are going to have to be careful. They're on yellows. You want those two players available for
Canada's back
Switzerland.
Line.
So I do wonder, because I do now. Apparently, Moise Bombito is fully ready to go.
Same with
the question with Bombito, the question will be, does he start? Because I
don't think so.
Davies will not start.
No, I don't think Davies will start.
Know he won't.
Larea will hold it down left back.
I would think so as well. And I think Johnson will start as well. But my big question is when does Nico Seeger come in? Because I feel that if Canada has a good grasp of this match at the halftime, you need to take someone like Johnson out just to protect him and put in someone like Nico Seeger.
Yeah, Luke Dufour, I think, expected to start against Cornelius. LDF looked good against Bosnia, and
he looked great. Questions always about his youth and that brashness of youth, especially when you need that intelligence as a defender. But I think he handled it well. The yellow card is always going to be up there. My hope is that Canada can take control in the first half so that you have the option to protect these players.
Yeah, that's why
Switzerland
should be up by 1 or 2 at halftime.
That's my only hesitation in this match is that I wish we didn't have to think about the Switzerland game and we could only concentrate on this. But having those two players and how important they are, you have to kind of think going forward.
You should get the win today. So
should
on paper.
It's It's a must. Now it's the World Cup. Every game is a must win, but you have to win this game so that it takes a little bit of pressure off that Switzerland game.
Yeah, and my thing I want to watch out for, I want to see, is more overload play, as you mentioned.
Yeah,
because you didn't really see that against Bosnia because they were clogging everywhere.
Yeah,
but Switzerland managed to use their wings, use their fullbacks to get the overloads, though they couldn't really muster anything. So Canada needs to do more of that, but actually muster up chances. Someone like Johnston and Buchanan, Larea. I'd start Ali Ahmed too.
That's my other thing I was going to say is I believe Ali Ahmed will start this match instead of Liam Milner. And Ahmed and Larea have history in playing together.
For club and country.
For club and country. So I do think that could be a hidden tool. One that we haven't seen that much, just because Liam Miller kind of has locked down that left-hand spot. But I think this is Ali Ahmed's time to shine.
Yeah, first game back at BC Place since leaving the Whitecaps. What a game that is.
Absolutely.
Another thing, just you make use of those wide areas. That's another key for me as well. You got that Qatari goalkeeper will look to stand on his head. They're going to look to counterattack. Won't be as aggressive as Bosnia, but they're a team that plays a stingy low block as well.
If you can unlock and get a goal early, let's say first 20, 30 minutes, it forces Qatar to change how they play. It forces them to have to get rid of the low block because they need to start hunting. Getting that first goal and a goal in the first half is very, very important in this game, which is not the easiest thing to do. The majority of goals scored in this tournament so far have been in the second half. Canada needs to buck that trend. You need a goal in the first half.
It's our basically key takeaways. Start early, score early, make use of that overloads, and be smart defensively. That's my three.
The overloads is going to be where it's at in this game. I think Larea and Johnson are great fullbacks to take advantage of that. They do like getting up. And then it's just, take your chances. Take your chances when they come. I'm looking at you, Jonathan David, who I expect to have a bounce back game.
Yeah. Jesse Marsh expects it. We expect it. If he scores today, that'll, put the weight off his shoulders.
Gets out of the Boo Boys.
Yep. 53K expected later this afternoon at BC Place Vancouver. Too bad we can't be there. Wish we could, but tune in from wherever you are.
Now, here's another interesting stat. If you go back to even before the World Cup, Qatar have not won in their last 7 matches. Canada is undefeated in their last 9 matches.
Yep.
So
Canada's last loss was against Australia back in October.
Yeah. So let's keep this going. But when I say undefeated, that, it can't just be a draw. This game needs to win.
This is a must-win for Canada.
Absolutely.
Anything less won't be acceptable.
Absolutely.
So Canada, Qatar, 3 p.m., BC Place, Vancouver. Our time. This podcast will be out before then. Follow me on Twitter at JoshRay00. Podcast is at Terminal City FC. Nathan and Dirk. I'll be writing about this game, but a little different from the World Cup daily recaps. It'll be mostly on Canada, and then the rest will be later for the other games. I think it'll make it easier because I am not watching the Czechia South Africa game,
which did end in a 1-1 draw.
Yeah, and Switzerland and Bosnia and Herzegovina are set to get underway in an hour or so.
Absolutely. Another very important game to watch. Implications for Canada.
Yep. Podcast was on YouTube and Twitter, Instagram, and all that. Check out all our Ready for Air 15 Sports Network for our daily World Cup recaps. Go Canada. Hope they get the win today. If you're at a bar, at home, at the stadium, cheer on as loudly as you can.
I was already out this morning taking my daughter to school, and there was already a number of fans wearing the shirts, Canada flags as capes, and there's already the police presence out, at least in my neighborhood, because of how close I am to the stadium. So there is the expectation that there is going to be a lot of fans at this one, and I hope there is.
Oh, there will be.
Yeah.
So, enjoy the game, folks. That'll conclude this week's episode. Peace out.
Take care.